History is full of disasters that shaped the world, but some have been strangely forgotten over time. Today, we're diving into the top 5 forgotten disasters that changed the course of history in ways you wouldn't believe. From fiery infernos to deadly explosions and nature's unstoppable fury, these stories will leave you in awe. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for the last one. It's a disaster that literally shook the entire planet. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's uncover these incredible stories together. Let's begin with the Tambora Eruption of 1815, one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in recorded history. Mount Tambora, in present-day Indonesia, erupted with such force that it blasted 12 cubic miles of ash and rock into the atmosphere. The explosion was heard over 1,200 miles away and caused tens of thousands of deaths immediately. But the real disaster unfolded in the months that followed. The ash cloud blocked out sunlight, plunging global temperatures and triggering what became known as the year without a summer. Crops failed, famine spread, and bizarre weather patterns wreaked havoc worldwide. People in Europe and North America reported snowfall in June and July. It's hard to imagine, but this forgotten eruption reshaped the global climate and led to years of hardship. Next, we have the Halifax Explosion of 1917, the largest man-made explosion before the atomic bomb. In the busy harbor of Halifax, Canada, 2 ships collided. One of them, the SS Mont Blanc, was packed with explosives for World War I. The resulting blast leveled much of the city, killed over 1,900 people, and injured 9,000 more. The shock waves shattered windows 50 miles away, and a massive tsunami swept through the harbor, adding to the devastation. What's even more bizarre, the ship's anchor, weighing over 1,000 pounds, was found 2 miles from the explosion site. This forgotten disaster reminds us of the incredible power of human-made catastrophes. Now let's talk about the Banqiao Dam Failure of 1975 in China, a disaster that's rarely discussed but remains one of the deadliest in history. After days of torrential rain caused by a typhoon, the Banqiao Dam gave way, unleashing a wall of water that swept through entire villages. Over 170,000 people were killed in the immediate aftermath, and millions were displaced. The flood destroyed crops, roads, and infrastructure, leading to widespread famine and disease. For years, the Chinese government kept this disaster under wraps, which is why many people outside of China have never even heard of it. It's a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of infrastructure failures. Next up is the Peshtigo Fire of 1871, a tragedy overshadowed by the Great Chicago Fire, which happened on the same day. But while Chicago's fire was infamous, Peshtigo's was far deadlier. In Wisconsin, a combination of dry weather, strong winds, and careless land clearing sparked a firestorm that swept through over 1.2 million acres of forest. Flames moved so fast that some survivors described fireballs racing across the sky. Over 1,500 people lost their lives, and entire towns were wiped off the map. The heat was so intense that it melted sand into glass. Despite its sheer scale, this disaster is often forgotten, buried in the shadow of Chicago's blaze. Finally, the story you've been waiting for. The Great Smog of London in 1952. For 5 days in December, a thick, toxic smog blanketed the city, caused by a deadly mix of coal smoke and weather conditions. Visibility dropped to near zero, and people couldn't even see their own feet in some areas. The smog seeped into homes, theaters, and hospitals, causing chaos. An estimated 12,000 people died from respiratory issues, and thousands more were hospitalized. The tragedy shocked the world and led to major changes in environmental policies, including the Clean Air Act of 1956. It's a chilling reminder of how human activity can backfire in deadly ways. From volcanic eruptions that reshape the planet to fires and smog that cost thousands of lives, these forgotten disasters hold valuable lessons about humanity's resilience and the need to respect the forces of nature. Which of these stories surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, comment and tell us what topics you want us to explore next. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep the conversation going.